Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Mags.
Hey, Spaghetti, how you doing?
Oh, it's so good to do in person.
I know. Feels more fit.
Yeah, sure.
Way fitter.
I feel less fit because I'm next to these pythons.
Right, I feel way less fit because I walk in your apartment and immediately start sweating bombs.
That means you're fit, right? People that sweat faster are fitter.
I think your sweat glands are fitter, I suppose.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I definitely sweat more. I told you this because I've been saunaing.
Yeah, doesn't it feel great?
Inconvenient. No.
It's extremely inconvenient.
Ugh.
You kind of just have to get over it. And in my opinion, the only real way to get over it's kind of hard because it's one of those things where even if you say like I'm sweating, it doesn't like diffuse the thing. You know, when somebody says like
What? No, it wouldn't. You can't be like, I got a parking ticket and then it goes away.
well, yeah, you can diffuse the social tension in some ways.
Oh, you're at a date. Your sandwich falls. I'm sweating.
Okay, well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, sorry, I'm a little distracted. I have a big problem at work, or my family has a health thing, or whatever, and that'll like explain your social.
Sorry, I'm sweating. I'm really fit.
Right. Sorry, I'm sweating. I've been working on my sweat glands all week.
That's funny.
I do crank up the heat in my gym, though. I told you that.
Yeah.
I crank it up to 90, and I just sort of and now I wear sweats in there too, just to make sure I like a nice little.
Because you want to sweat.
I would like to sweat a little bit. I find that, you know, we've talked to a lot of people, cold people, sweat people, keto people, you know, whatever.
That's not how it's pronounced.
I find that sweating is the one that I subscribe to in a sense of like, I think that seems real healthy to
It's
me.
because you're a wrestler and you wrestlers are wrong about how beneficial it is. It just makes you lose water weight.
Well, what about hangovers? Don't you find that sweating flushes all that junk out?
It's in your head.
It's in my skin. It's everywhere.
It's in my
It was in my body, and now it's
know.
gone.
There's that whole pushback on detox, saying that it's BS and you can't actually detox. But
Really?
I've also heard pushback on the pushback that you actually can detox, and sauna's a really good way to do it.
I think the term detox has been very, very sort of generously taken over by quote-unquote health professionals that are like, you know what's a good detox? Don't eat anything for 90 days. That'll really detox you. And you're like,
Is
what?
it? Now I'm like, wait, should I do that for a video?
So I think that the term detox has been unfairly sort of taken over, you know.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, to detox, drink this powder supplement, pay for these pills.
Right. Did you hear about Prime?
Yes, but I don't know if I believe
gosh.
it. It was just a TikTok.
Was
you-
it?
Well, I only saw a TikTok.
What's the one you saw? The one I saw said that there are sort of forever chemicals. Is that what they're called?
Forever chemicals in Logan Paul's Prime drink.
And what is a forever chemical?
It's the kind of stuff that they manufactured and put on frying pans to make them non-stick, and then they learned that it stays in your body forever and causes cancer.
Right.
You're not going to sweat that out in a sauna, supposedly.
Right. And the amount of forever chemicals in one bottle of Prime was.
It's supposedly, we don't know yet.
We don't know.
Confirmed.
This is just what we heard.
But the claims are the amount of forever chemicals in one Prime.
One bottle of Prime.
One bottle of Prime.
Is.
You want me to say it?
Well, I heard it was 3 times as much as you should consume in your entire life.
Oh, I heard one time.
Well.
That's only one.
Whatever. How many Primes have you had? More than one?
I've had 9 on camera once.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Too bad you're not a cat.
You know those Alani that we drank in the previous episode?
Uh-huh.
That's the same company.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Prime is made by the parent company that also makes Alani.
Gonna need a lot of saunas to get over that one. And I like how it's when they say, they call it forever chemicals, and my first thought was like, well, what does forever mean? And they're like, your life, bro.
Yeah, which
That's
is significantly shorter.
forever. I'm like, yeah, but not like what, forever, or like what does that mean? You
Yeah.
know? Or they're like, it's bad for you. And I'm like, yeah, but bad, like, what does bad mean? You know? So it's a stupid attitude. But yeah, not great. It's a lot of forever.
So, obviously, I'm going to stop drinking it until we get more data.
Yeah, I would.
I drink a lot of LaCroix and cheap versions of LaCroix. I'm sure that's not great either. What's in the liner of this can?
Oh, I don't know. I did switch from plastic water bottles to glass. Is glass better than plastic? I mean, I'm hoping.
Supposedly. You still have a plastic lid, though.
Yeah.
Well, it's not all glass.
It's not touching the water, though.
Yeah, it is. It moves around in there.
How active do you think my refrigerator is?
Well, it at least makes some contact with plastic. You should get a cork.
All right, I'll get a cork. Good call. I'll get a cork for my San Pellegrino water.
Ben Greenfield says to drink that because
You know, I started Ben Greenfield's book.
Boundless?
I cannot stand him and how he talks.
Well, it's not him. He had somebody else read it because he's
whatever,
way
how he
too
talks,
efficient.
The words that he has put into paper and the things.
The way he writes?
The way he, yes.
Oh.
It strikes me as, and it's the things that he says, the practices he suggests or whatever, the actions to take, I'm sure they're right, or I believe in that.
Some.
But the way he's describing it just reeks of like sort of preying on insecure incel men to be like, oh, are you just like a regular dude? Do you want to be jacked and have a six-pack and $1 million and a Ferrari and have great mind-blowing sex with hot women and also be super cool and funny and smart and witty? And do you want to like write something that no one's ever written before? Well, what you should do is a cold shower. You know, like
You forgot.
You should.
These 12 steps and this 5 things and this 7.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, the one guy who sells, here's the one product that I would suggest you buy. You don't have to, but also here's my Amazon Prime affiliate
Yeah.
link.
Well,
It
and
just
then here's the
reeks-
thing that I made.
Yeah, it just reeks
Or
of
here's
that.
my good friend.
So it's hard, it's very, and so I'm, it's hard because I'm going into it like interested, and I'm an audience member that I'm an active, I'd like to listen and learn and take your advice. But the way you're presenting it is just so
Here's a solution
scummy,
to
sketchy, like snake oily.
yeah.
There's that bald guy that everybody.
Dr. Peter Attia?
No.
Mr. Clean.
Andrew Tate.
Ah.
It feels very Andrew Tate.
I'm just going to go through all the bald guys I know.
Every bald guy.
Yeah.
It feels so Andrew Tate-y. Tate-ish.
Yeah. I don't know him, but...
But
yeah,
you
okay.
understand the...
Yeah. Right. And I almost didn't download the book because the marketing for it was like that. It was just number solution, number things you have to do, number what you want to buy, all after another. It was like a bunch of BuzzFeed articles on health.
Right.
And I was like, what is this? But I mean, Ben Greenfield's respected.
Yeah.
But then a few things in there, I'm like, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, I got to the part where he like...
Or not crazy, or wrong, or just like a little wrong, or really wrong. But then some of it's probably right.
I think a lot of it's right.
Yeah.
Ish. You know what I mean?
What about the Bluetooth thing? He's so serious about
I didn't get
Bluetooth.
to the Bluetooth
Okay.
thing yet. I haven't finished it.
He turned off his Wi-Fi. He's like one step away from sleeping in a Faraday cage, which I looked into, and his wife wouldn't let him.
I am shocked that he has a wife.
I know, what's she like? What is she like? And his poor kids.
Oh my God, his poor kids. Hopefully
They're
he's
eating snails and ghee.
Hopefully he's incredibly wealthy.
Grass-fed
otherwise,
caviar.
oh my God.
He is definitely incredibly wealthy, and they live off the grid at some farm.
In Washington State. Yeah. He makes all his own food and kills all his own animals.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah, it is.
But like makes the kids eat capers and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And they're barefoot. I mean, I want to live the way his kids do, but I don't want to have it introduced to me or forced upon me at a young age. You know what I mean?
And imagine those kids making friends. They're homeschooled, right?
Probably. I just assumed.
Of course. Ugh.
I know, it's a shame because there's no real answer. Like, what he's doing for the kids is really good for them, but how do you do it in a way that doesn't make them a freaking weirdo? Yeah, I mean, physically, I think.
Right, but emotionally, mentally, and their whole stress levels of like, oh my gosh, all my friends are drinking
Prime?
orange soda. Not even Prime.
Yeah.
Like they
definitely are drinking Prime.
You know, whatever. That kid had a candy bar. My friend had a candy bar once. I didn't even know what it was. You know, Dad, what's a gusher? And he's like, oh, we got to get you out of that school right now. You know, that's probably like, oh gosh, it'd be so horrible. If they ever made a friend, you know, who are their friends gonna be?
I know, it does give the sense that they're living on some weird island and they don't.
It feels like
interact with the outside world.
It feels like this is the very beginning of a great horror movie. You know, like it could be. In fact, I feel like I saw a preview for this exact same horror movie with James McAvoy. Yeah, it looks crazy. I'll send it to you.
Okay. But it could be not that at all. You know, you just get that sense of it, but they might just be an average family. You know?
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point. I'm probably being unfair in my assumption.
We both got the same feel.
But that's the feel I'm getting. It's just like,
and you know, he tried to not write that feel in, you know? Or maybe he did. Maybe he did want to seem like I'm doing the perfect things for my kids so they turn out perfect.
Well, he's doing the perfect thing for his life. He's also so generously doing it for his kids. But I'm sort of suggesting that maybe those kids could benefit from a more regular
like a gusher once in a while.
A gusher.
Instead of trite.
Happy New Year. Here's your gusher.
Well, then he claims that the kids like the complex and healthy foods that he gives them because that's all they know.
Yeah,
Which
of course.
Makes sense.
And it's fair. But, you know, it's also weird. Anyway, and so the things that he's doing, I kind of believe that they're super healthy. My main question is how much more healthy than standard?
It feels like a lot because there are so many things in that book that he talks about making you die super early.
Right.
And I do all of them. And I'm what I think a generally healthy person.
I've looked at a computer screen before, so I'm
my
toast.
Toothpaste is not good.
Yep.
Fluoride? You're not
Deodorant.
supposed to have fluoride?
Oh,
yeah, he
God.
shows you how to make your own lemon deodorant or whatever.
Which I'm sure works super well.
Well, he claims it does. Oh, he makes his own lemon cleaner too. He doesn't.
He's got a nose deaf. Like there's absolutely no way that guy.
Yeah. Oh, it's just a smelly K-person house with their shoes off and really wide feet. That's cool though. Come on.
I mean, I guess.
I don't think that we're communicating the depth and breadth of the things that this guy does.
Right.
To avoid getting harmed by a typical American life. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and so then is every little thing like a tiny little uptick?
Or do they multiply each other?
Do they compound? Do they multiply? Is it, if I work really hard not to have any sort of this type of thing, but then I also do this over here, is that totally negating that first, all those efforts?
Yeah, if you do all this stuff and then, oops, I forgot to put on my blue light glasses, then everything's right down.
And are there things that, which I don't know, I mean, I haven't finished the book, but are there things that are way bigger levers than others?
Right.
We've talked about how sleep is probably the biggest one.
Right.
Versus like.
And he doesn't give more importance to anything. He doesn't say which ones. Well, if you're gonna do, I mean, at the end of each chapter, he's like, "I know that sounded overwhelming, so here are some first steps." But then the first steps are all overwhelming.
I know. The first steps are like, so cut out sugar, and you're like, hold on, what?
Or set your Wi-Fi to turn off and don't use Bluetooth headphones. And I'm trying to think of some of the even nuttier ones. I mean, his workout routine is so varied that I would just go crazy trying to keep up with how many different things I'm doing.
I got to the part where he was driving and crapped his pants uncontrollably, and that's when I was
forgot.
like,
I don't even remember
all
that
right,
part.
I'm good for now.
Was it MCT oil?
It was mineral water. He was like, I had exhausted myself too much doing my
Oh, yeah. I remember now.
Ironman
'Cause he was doing
triathlon,
Ironman.
something
Come
or
on.
other.
If you haven't crapped yourself doing an Ironman, have you actually done an Ironman?
Right. Well, I'm like, well, gee willikers, buddy. Maybe something else is wrong, you know?
He also talks about hydrogen water
Yeah.
and what is it? Stacked? Not stacked.
I forget, but
Yeah.
I think hydrogen is in water, isn't it?
Yeah, but extra hydrogen somehow. Hydrogen depleted water.
Yeah,
That's
that
it.
felt a little snake oily to me. But I don't know. I don't live off the grid in a weird farm in
He has his
Washington State.
own machine that makes hydrogen depleted water, which he alludes to the fact that it's really expensive to get one of those.
I'm sure.
But then
Because
when he travels, oh, it's nutso.
oh, God.
I know. So I'm flying to the UK next month, and I'm going to do a video where I do his entire travel routine. It's a lot.
I'm sure.
Like, you got to wear compression, and then, like, I don't know, face mask.
you get
Like,
like a Green Man compression suit. It just compresses everything.
but I'm green.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, what else? Oh, PMF. He talks a lot about PMF. Those devices are expensive. Pulsed magnetic fields. He's scared of Bluetooth, but this other type of magnetic field is right.
Yeah, it's a lot of his things that he's quote unquote scared of too. You know, he sort of glosses over why they're bad and then goes into these like 15-step things about how to counteract it. But I'm also like, hold on, why are they bad?
Yeah.
Where'd you hear that? What are you talking about? How bad is that? Is that really bad? Or is
Right.
that just you just hear that now you're a phobic? You know, this is your mental thing that like you get easily triggered by anything and then you have to change your whole life.
And it sounds like he cooks too, which I can't imagine. His whole day is morning routine, like we talk about.
I know. And once he's finished with his morning routine, it's time for bed.
But you have to soak beans too. Little details like that, where you can't just eat beans. You have to make them the way our ancestors did.
I know. Which again, we've talked about this before, but that's always such a big, like that raises my eyebrow super, super high when someone's like, well, I mean, think about it, bro. Like cavemen, and then I stop listening because I'm like, you're an idiot.
Caveman died at 30 and they were not drinking prime.
Right. Give a caveman a prime, see how he's doing. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're reading this because I've been wanting to talk to someone about it. I mean, we still talked about it even though you haven't even gotten to
It's
it.
just it's
like-
hard to get through, and
It's a lot.
and that's usually a bad sign. Like for me, because I'm into it. you
Yeah,
know?
I
And so
know.
if I'm into it and you're really putting me off, then that's a tough thing for you to do.
What's rough is that it's so overwhelming. You just go, I can't do any of it. You
Yeah.
can't even pick. I think the one thing that I did from that book is buy a little breath training device to walk with, and I still haven't used it.
What is the box breathing thing?
No. I mean, I've done box breathing, but he wears it around his neck when he walks, and I don't know. It was like a little $10 thing, and I got it, and I was gonna make a video about it, but then I even just put that off.
Is it a kazoo?
It kind of looks like a kazoo. He talks about learning new things too, new instruments.
It's tough.
It sounds like
I guess my suggestion to anybody that's thinking about reading this would be skip the introduction for sure.
I don't even remember
Because the
intro.
introduction is so like,
Salesy.
yeah, like are you some sort of a beta male that doesn't like bang supermodels with your 12, 15 pack, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a thing about like how to get taller or like how to, like how to get a bigger dick or something like that. That just feels like
He does. You
that's
haven't
the-
gotten to it yet.
I haven't gotten to the tall part.
No, the dick part.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Oh god.
He does this whole thing about stem cells into his.
He put stem cells.
I'll let you get to it.
Oh gosh. All right, sounds good. I can't, I'll try to start up again.
Yeah, that's another thing. He harvests his own stem cells and puts them into his spine. There are really expensive and really crazy things he does too, not just soaking his beans. It's across the board. And I can't imagine putting that much time into it, even if you finally made it a habit and set a schedule and you
I
just
know.
like know today is this VO2 max training and this food and this
And imagine
whatever.
imagine, I want to know how good he is with an unexpected thing.
Oh no.
You know?
I'm no good with an unexpected thing, and I'm nowhere near his level.
Like, what
I
if
can
he's like,
imagine.
oh, we need soup for lunch instead of sandwiches. He'd be like, whoa,
Yeah, right?
I haven't soaked my beans for 12 hours, you know?
Good thing he doesn't have to go to his kid's graduation because they're homeschooled.
I
Otherwise,
know.
he'd have to.
They won't graduate. Or maybe they will. He's in charge, right? He'll
Yeah.
make up a diploma.
So he claims detox is real.
Yeah. Do you? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I believed him on that. But the idea of drinking AG1 and get detoxified, I don't think that's a thing.
I think flushing things out of your body, whether it's sweat or pee or whatever, like I think that's, you blow your nose, you know what I
Well,
mean?
okay, but that was the argument for anti-detox is not a thing, is that your body knows how to detoxify. You have a liver,
Yeah.
and it does what it does, and
Yes.
you taking supplements isn't going to help that.
Right. I guess my idea of detox is just facilitating the body's natural
Yeah.
whatever. So that's
Which
why
is- yeah.
sauna, sweat, or drink a ton of water so then you pee a lot more. And it's
Yeah,
sort
or
of-
the supplements to support your liver that Ben Greenfield talks about. So that makes sense. He even talks about the anti-detox movement, and he's like, well, you need to support your body to be able to detoxify itself. So there's ways to do that. There are.
Yeah. I guess I fall off when I hear these ones that are like, only eat these weird pills for 30 days.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
no,
you
of
got-
course not.
Flush, redo your.
Although he does do that
I know.
quarterly. No, annually. I don't know.
It's just so exhausting.
And then eating based on what your ancestors ate, your heritage, and then also eating based on the seasons.
Oh God.
I know. It's so much. How
that's
much
so
brain room does he
stupid.
have? He must be a genius, or he doesn't do anything else but take care of his body.
Yeah, his checklist must be insane.
What baffles me is that it's different every day, and not even this is the Monday checklist. It's like throughout the month,
This is the
everything
January
is
15.
shifting so crazily because there's so much that he's doing, and it's never, I do this every day. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of brain space. But he also writes. He has a job, right? Podcasting, probably.
I think. I don't know.
He makes content. Is that his job?
I don't know.
Was he independently wealthy before he started doing all of this? Because then that would make more sense.
I can't remember. Wasn't he in the army?
Those Goggins.
Goblins. He's even worse. I don't remember. I don't know. Anyway, I started the book. It's been hard to pick up, but I'm trying to. That is part of my routine. Is I'm sticking with this stupid book. But
Yeah.
it's tough.
Is it you're listening to the audiobook while you're lifting or soaking your beans or whatever?
Usually it's while I'm walking the dog, so I'm getting sun, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's one of them, great.
Good job. Did you get to the part where he talks about Cardarine SARMs?
No.
Supposedly, it's like a legal steroid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it made me want to take it for
Let's
sure.
do
And
some, for
a
sure.
legal steroid with no bad side effects. None of the lowered voice, bad skin, whatever. All of the hormonal BS that happens. I know. And then I looked up a blog article about it too, and it's like a photo of him and his six pack, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the answer."
This is the answer. Now you'll be happy. Now you'll be enough.
He also says, "Don't get too much muscle. You're supposed to be strong, but not
I think that's probably true.
for longevity." Yeah.
And for heart health.
I mean, I'm convinced that aesthetics are counter to longevity. You gotta pick one.
I think there's a pretty good sweet spot in there.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, when you look at the bodybuilders and you think about their like how trash their bodies look as they get really old, and their heart health, their
sure.
everything health.
I just saw Juji Mufu sleeps with CPAP because I'm laughing because someone was like, why are you wearing that? And his response was, because I grew my meat suit too big and now it crushes my lungs at night.
Oh, gosh.
And it wasn't just him, it was him and his friend. They were running around with their CPAPs. And so I guess it's a common thing for bodybuilders to then have to wear a mask to keep their airways open at night. That's crazy.
And I think even that's muscular people, but I think heavier people, if they're not working out, they're usually in really bad shape as they get older, right? Thinner people are usually, it's better on their joints, better on their hearts, better on their things.
Yeah, but
they don't
muscle,
have the strength to do stuff.
Hanging on to muscle is a really good indicator of longevity.
Yeah. Posture, that's a good one too.
Pasta?
Posture.
Oh, posture. Yeah, and the speed at which you walk. Oh, that's another thing. Ben talks about how he forces himself to walk faster, and I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, isn't that correlation, not causation? And if you start walking faster, then you suddenly will live longer? I don't know.
Right. Doesn't that sort of point out to you how shaky a lot of his beliefs?
His assumptions are. It's assumption, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the study is that people that walk faster, it's correlated to living longer.
People who walk faster live longer, but not necessarily because they walk fast. Could be for a myriad of other reasons.
People that walk faster are trying to get somewhere, and everyone that has to get somewhere is going to live longer.
And they're also unhappier. Did you know that? Faster walkers are way less happy.
Huh. Wait, okay. Sorry.
But what does that mean? And how does, is it core cause? Ugh, it's so.
So yeah, that is honestly what it feels like. I did a crazy sauna protocol, and it was a whole month of rough. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, I was like, well, it seems like it was worth it because I'll live longer, but be miserable to live longer.
Right.
People walking faster are unhappy, but they're gonna stick around.
And they're gonna get there early, and they'll be on. Early is on time, or on time is early, and late is on time, or something like that.
Yeah, I really can't think of one thing that I would do. I mean, I guess there was some stuff that I'm already doing, like the circadian rhythm thing. The way he wired his lights in his house, I just moved to a new place and we bought new bulbs, and I wrote down exactly the type and whatever, all the numbers that he said that you should hit, and you couldn't even find bulbs like that. And certainly those aren't going to connect to my phone and Siri and whatever.
When I had those Bluetooth light bulbs, I programmed them to dim over 30 minutes.
No, but it's different. You have junk electricity coming off of them, and
yeah, I know he's taking it a little too. That's sort of my whole assessment of him. Is it's like starts out as a pretty good idea, and then this lunatic takes it way too far.
Yeah, but if you can do it, I guess I just keep coming back to this. I will take it way too far if I can do it and still be able to have brain space for other things. Can I set it on autopilot? And it seems like everything he's doing is impossible to keep on autopilot.
I know.
You just have to focus on. He's putting red lights to his balls every third day. What the heck?
Inefficient.
Every 20 minutes, stands up and looks around, doing pull-ups throughout the day space, but not only on a pull-up day, right? So
right. Just cause. Just on the
and he
show
travels
a
lot, so I can't imagine.
I know. I'm surprised he doesn't have his own little RV or tank tube of some kind.
Tank tube. Ah.
I'm surprised he hasn't built his own tube system. You remember those?
In Futurama.
They would put in the.
Letters?
80s, they'd put a little thing and they'd put it in the tube and they'd punch that button. And yeah. What was that called?
I don't know.
I always thought that was so cool. Carmen Sandiego had that. Or some.
Why do we get rid of it? Oh, because it's all digital. Can I build one from me to you? That'd be dope.
You could probably build one from like your kitchen to your bedroom, but that's a
So is it always pulling air? Yeah, it must be just always on. Or no, you put it in and then you hit the thing and it vacuums it.
Yeah, it vacuums it, but
I gotta write
you have
this
to
down.
shut the thing, so it must be vacuumed and then it I guess I don't know. I never tried to build one.
I'm definitely writing
sure
this down.
You're going to.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh.
Oh yeah.
So great.
Get out. This is a great idea. But in Futurama, people movers are
People
like that.
movers, yeah.
So. Letter tubes. I'll remember what that means.
Letter tubes.
All right. So, yeah, like I'm saying, I even just looking up his travel routine, I'm like, how can I pull this up for a video? It's a lot. Gotta buy a bunch of other stuff. He uses an Oura ring, but he puts it in airplane mode so that he doesn't get the Bluetooth from it.
So what does that mean? Does it work? And
I
then
guess
it just
collects the data, and then whenever he
uploads the data.
uploads it to... Yeah, I know. And now I'm wearing two. I just got... This is an ultra human ring.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just like Aura.
Is it the same?
There are a few things that are a little different. Nothing. Pinky.
Pinky.
That's my thumb. We're twins.
I got bad
But yeah,
knuckles,
so now I got 2 rings on me at all times. I got my glucose device. I sleep with a Whoop. You're sleeping on an 8-sleep mattress. That's Bluetooth.
I know. And I have Wi-Fi, bathing my body in Wi-Fi all the time.
My laptop is right here. That feels like if there's one thing that I wish he's wrong about, it's that.
I know.
I have definitely Googled about studies for Bluetooth, and all of them say it's not strong, it's not powerful enough waves to do anything, zero effect on the body. But man.
Yeah, it sure would be nice if that didn't. That would be really inconvenient.
Yeah.
The whole world's going to get sick from Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I mean, they're trying to Wi-Fi whole towns now, or, you know.
Yeah.
Burbank has its own Wi-Fi. A lot of cities have their own Wi-Fi.
I mean, there are AT&T, I think, pod stations that are up on light posts, and then there's a sign that says above here is not safe for humans.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. You've not seen that?
So what are we, it's tall people are just...
Well, it's pretty high up there, but definitely don't go on a ladder.
Yeah.
So that sounds like not just Ben Greenfield BS. It's real.
Yeah, and that's and I certainly don't trust whatever municipal government to like really take into account everyone's safety.
Yeah, I mean, all the studies that I looked up on Bluetooth were probably funded by Big Bluetooth.
Yeah, I remember looking up one about Brita filters, and then that was like, it was like, what if I just boil the water? And they're like, actually, that's so much worse for you, and it's really terrible. And all you're doing is you're leaving all the junk in it, and you're boiling off all the good. Also, the study is brought to you by Brita. I was like, okay, dude, thanks. It was like a Brita blog or some off-brand water filter blog that said, don't boil, like boiling the water is worse for you. And I'm like, okay, cool. So nobody knows anything.
Well, I have in my list of videos to do for my fitness channel, Bluetooth detox. That's also like it was inspired by that book, and that's why I've been researching it. I thought I'd go maybe a week and stay away from all these devices.
Good luck.
Is this Bluetooth? We have Bluetooth right on my heart right now.
Bluetooth, yeah. I don't know how you're gonna work.
I don't know how Ben does it.
What do you mean? He takes his ink and his quill.
Yeah.
He unrolls the paper that he made from his tree.
Oh, he doesn't even use Wi-Fi. He plugs his Ethernet in. Because I remember him being like, oh, and bonus, it's faster.
It is faster.
Yeah.
But it's way less convenient. You can only sit in one spot.
Yeah. So I probably won't do that video because, one, it would be really difficult, and two, the transformation there, unless I suddenly become super smart in a week or something completely changes where my whole body feels way better, I sincerely doubt that, because I'm not sitting here with aches and pains and thinking that, like, oh, what's all this coming from?
Yeah, and how would you track it?
It feels like such a subtle thing, and it's
You could track it with...
Yeah, right. My aura would say I'm doing better, but I haven't used it.
Right. How does he know?
Yeah. So I'm probably going to delete that from my to-do list. But it was on there.
It's too bad. It's a good idea. I like the idea of a phone detox, actually. That was one I was thinking of.
Yeah, a friend of mine did that on his channel. Shout out to Andrew Feinstein. He made a whole video about it, and he did a brain scan before and after. And
Oh,
it was
really?
crazy.
What was the difference?
The guy that did the brain scan, he's like, I've never seen this crazy change in results.
Oh, boy.
And he went for a month without using his phone.
Did he have like a flip phone or something?
No, just nothing. So he couldn't call anyone when he was on the road. He was like, you see him pulling out maps.
Maps, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, he was on his laptop, but he deleted all of the phone type devices, so he couldn't text, he couldn't go on Instagram,
Right.
that kind of thing. So it seemed pretty nuts.
Seems pretty boring.
But cool that he had a very analytical way to see before and after, versus
And
just...
a noticeable change.
Right.
Sure.
And there, of course, he had the subjective thing, too, where he was like, I feel way better and more focused. And yeah. So, phone detox. That's legit.
Because I just saw one with the guy had a flip phone, and then I saw another one where there was like, it's called like a brick or something. You brick your phone, and it's a separate device that you take with your phone that turns off all your apps. So it allows you to still have telephone
Safety,
communication.
whatever, yeah.
But other than that, it doesn't.
Have you seen the other phone that's black and white, and it only does maps and calls?
No, but that's perfect.
Yeah, so it's a separate phone that you can put your SIM card in, I think, or whatever. Maybe it's separate, but it is intentionally just bleh. And I'm pretty sure it's that paper look instead of a screen.
Oh, like a Kindle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, I'm definitely not doing that video anytime soon. I mean, I guess it'd be cool to see the brain scan change.
I've had some troubles myself, actually, because especially like this last week, I've had very sort of horrifying, vivid dreams, and I know it's about the thing that I was just, the type of media that I was just consuming before I went to bed.
Sure.
And so I'm kind of like, oh boy, I can't be dreaming about like dungeons and stuff like that.
Because you were just watching
I know where it's coming from, and I know these dreams are crazy specific, and I'm like, oh boy, I know where that came from.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. You have people saying that they dream about you, and it's because they're watching your YouTube videos before they go to sleep.
Right. It really translates over.
Yeah.
But I also write all my dreams down. Do you do that?
Sometimes, I'll go through stints.
Yeah. I found that ever since I started, I feel like I told you that before, but ever since I started, I really remember them much, much more.
Remember more? Yeah. I have a lot of lucid dreams, but because it's similar things happen, and I'm like, oh, I'm dreaming.
Oh, jeez, one of these.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go again.
But sometimes it'll happen because I go, oh, I'm dreaming, and then I think to myself in the dream, I can't be dreaming. This is so real. This is so real. I'm not dreaming. And so now in real life, I'll do the same thing. I'll have something happen where it seems like, oh, I'm dreaming. I can't be dreaming. This is so real. So it's made me realize that dreams are freaking vivid. You think about them after you've had them and you're awake and you're like, oh, it's kind of this vague wash of things happening and you can't really see, it feels foggy. But in the moment, it is real life.
Oh, they're incredible.
That's crazy.
I would almost suggest that they're pretty afterwards. Like, that's why everybody loves to tell you their dreams. And when you hear the story, it's really boring because their story is like, yeah, I tried to get in my car and then a dinosaur showed up. And you're like, oh, okay, whatever.
And then it wasn't my car, it was someone else's car.
Right, it was my mom's car, but I didn't know that.
Great.
And you're like, okay, cool. But then when they're talking to it, and then certainly when I do it, when I tell other people, it's so intense and like.
See, it feels vague to me. I don't
action-packed.
remember them that well. It's like I know what happened, but it feels like through a fog, like I said.
I think that's because you're remembering it. You're remembering
I
it
guess,
through a
yeah.
fog.
I mean, I look back on my life and it also feels like through a fog.
Yeah, I know.
That time I sat with Max on a couch.
Yeah,
Man,
which
we are
one?
really showing the sun setting. Love it. People on the new YouTube channel are getting a bonus.
It's getting a little dark.
Watching the transition happen. You put on your blue light blocking glasses as you're watching this.
Yeah, this is to put everyone to sleep.
But yeah, what was I going to say about dreaming? Oh, so now there's a way to tell if you're dreaming. Numbers will be really messed up. So you look for a watch, look for patterns on the wall. They'll also be screwy. Or count your fingers. And so I'll find myself often in real life
Oh, jeez.
counting my fingers. And then like confirming that I'm living this for
7
real.
each, right? Yeah. I heard that too, but I only heard that you can't read or look at numbers in your dreams. I heard that from a Batman cartoon, so I don't know if that's real
true
or not.
For real, yeah.
But I read an email in my dream
Yeah.
recently.
So then, yeah,
So then, was I
there
dreaming?
you go. Oh, maybe
Whoa,
you're
hold
checking
on.
email in your dreams really vivid, shouldn't it?
No, it was an email from my commanding officer in the military.
Oh no.
And I haven't been in the military, so. Or have I? And is this the dream? What is going on? Oh no. Oh no.
All right. So what's the verdict on detox? Yes or no?
I think yes to a point, and I think it's one of the easiest things to sell to someone else, and thus the easiest thing to overdo, and that's the easiest thing to like sort of fall for.
Well, it also is a stupid catch-all. The definition of detox could be stop using your phone,
Right.
or take this pill, or only have liquids for a month.
Right.
Yeah. So it is kind of meh.
Is a detox like stop smoking, or is a detox like sweat a lot? You know,
Right.
what are we talking here? Or yeah, like I don't subscribe to detox as an extreme way to change anything. It should get you back to normal.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's based on the idea that everything's a toxin, which is, hey, that's full circle. This is what we learned from Ben Greenfield. Everything is
Everything.
bad for you.
Everything. I'm surprised he's like, humor, terrible for you. Laughing, the worst.
I think he did try and make a couple jokes in there.
His jokes are so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. And, again, this is a personal thing, but like when someone makes really, really terrible jokes, I'm like, oh, God.
In a book.
In a book. You had a lot of time to think about that.
You had other people read it and tell you to leave the joke in.
Right. It's, oh, God, it's bad.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us on the new channel. If you're watching the video, we're up in the game for you. Being in person, making it better, and showing you the sunset. But we still care about Apple Podcasts, so if you can rate and review on there, that would help us out a whole lot. And we'll see you next week.